Good evening, you're now with me, Bilingual TVS Nightline, and here are the headlines for tonight. Gas distribution negotiations between PETRONAS and PETROS are expected to be finalized by the end of this year. After years of closing, the historic 135-year-old SARAWAK Museum is set to reopen its doors to visitors this year. Two local men have been arrested by the police to assist in the investigation of the fatal shooting incident in Song on Monday. Negotiations between Petroleum Nasional Berhad PETRONAS and Petroleum Sarawak Berhad PETROS on the gas distribution issue are expected to be finalized by the end of this year. Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said, while the takeover is set to begin next month, there are still some technical aspects that need to be fine-tuned between the two oil companies.
Munya dapat selesai bulan 10 atau munya ada barang dikit-dikit kita boleh extend dengan PETRONAS. Tapi target kita bulan 10 lah. Ya serah pada sidak teknikal.
Extendnya boleh tapi dari tahun tu kan atau tak ada masa extension.
Saya fikir selesai selama sebulan 2. Kena Afin Afin dah selesai dah. Nak keraya juga. Jangan kau gila lah.
She said this during a press conference on Wednesday. Earlier, the Sarawak Premier's office and PETRONAS issued a joint statement confirming that the national oil company has no intention of pursuing legal action against PETROS. This follows a meeting held in Kuching between the Sarawak government and both companies, chaired by Abang Johari on Tuesday. PETRONAS was represented by its president and group CEO Tan Sri Tengku Muhammad Taufik Tengku Aziz, while PETROS was represented by its CEO Datuk Janin Giri. Meanwhile, the Sarawak government was represented by State Secretary Datuk Amar Abu Bakar Marzuki.
The Sarawak government has called on the federal government to restore the state's authority over the appointment of members to the State Farmers Association (PPM) and Area Farmers Association (PPK). Premier of Sarawak Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg emphasised that this move would not only align with the provisions under the Malaysia Agreement 1963 MA63 but also accelerate the agricultural sector's development in the state.
Previously, Abang Johari mentioned that the federal government had already transferred the authority to appoint members of the Sarawak Farmers Association board to the state.
Tadi saya ada dengan pengurus ketua LPP. Memangnya bukannya peraturan aja. What we do, nya bukan undang-undang. Peraturan. Jadi yang boleh mulai administrative arrangement. Administrative secara pentadbiran. Beri kuasa terus kepada ya. Si payah pergi MA63. Si payah. Maksud saya MA63 adalah konsep menurun kuasa. Kerana kini tu lesen lesen nangkap ikan dah beri dengan kita dah. Nangkap ikan fisheries. Jadi mun fisheries dapat, tentu aja pentadbiran aja. Pemsek ngatur.
With this power transfer, he added that it will ease the ecosystem and management at the state level. He added that Sarawak Minister of Food Industry, Commodities and Regional Development M5 Court, Datuk Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, will discuss the matter with Sarawak's Attorney General, Datuk Safri Ali, to further detail the request before representing it to the federal government. On another matter, the Sarawak government has proposed that PPNS lease a cargo plane to export commodities to Singapore. This initiative is seen as crucial in realizing Sarawak's aspiration to become a net food exporter by 2030.
Saya beri bajet kepada peserta peladang. Ia terpasang pada sidatnya ngatur. Tak. Kalau nya sewa, sik juga banyak sewa. Kalau saya berinya 10 juta, nya dah ada bangunan. Jadi 10 juta tu next year nya ada 10 million. Suruh sedaknya coba dulu 3 bulan ke dak ni. Jangan beli belon, mahal. Kita sewa macam kita nyewa lori lah. Cobakan 1 quarter, 4 bulan berapa harga. Kalau nya pergi pagi aja, awal pagi, yang bermaknanya satu sektor. Hantar ke Singapura, masuklah balik. Jadi saya fikir sehari sekali dulu kita nak kedai ni market reaction kayaknya tambahkanlah kalau nya berjaya kita tambah kita tengok nyewa lori dah ada kini tu cargo plane, they call it cargo plane, mid size cargo plane. Dan kita di pulau tu ni makan lori ni dah lori air pergi ke laut belon lah.
Besides initiating the exports to the Sarawak Trade and Tourism Office Singapore status, Abang Johari mentioned that this could expand to Brunei Darussalam and Pontianak, Indonesia, once similar offices are open in those two countries. For the record, Sarawak is currently facing a food trade deficit, with food imports amounting to 6.83 billion ringgit and exports totaling 1.16 billion ringgit in 2023.
Sarawakian youth are urged to adopt smart farming as part of the Sarawak government's goal to transform the state into a net food exporter by 2030. Sarawak's Minister for Food, Industry, Commodity and Regional Development MV Court, Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rindi Utom, emphasized the importance of adapting to advancement in modern agriculture. He noted that this shift would not only strengthen the agricultural sector, but also increase farmers' incomes, driving sustainable long-term economic growth for the state.
My aspiration is supaya kita melukarkan to transform image petani kita. Seperti apa yang berlaku di negara-negara yang maju. Di Australia, di New Zealand, di Netherlands dan sebagainya. Orang melihat image petani ini tinggi. If you are the son of farmers, people look high on you. Or if you belong to farming community, people look high on you. Itulah sebabnya kita menukar image ini. Saya melihat ada satu orang engineer di Bintulu. Dia mechanical engineer. Dia tak mau jadi engineer. Dia mau jadi petani. So we gave him half hectare of land in Seaview. Seaview punya ARC. Jadi dia dapat menghasilkan golden melon. Dia ada 4 SPS, 4 greenhouses. Golden melon, daun sup, kangkung, dia rotate sikit, lepas tu dia pocai dan sebagainya. Dia dapat pendapatan 6,000 sebulan. 9,000.
He said this during the inauguration ceremony of the new Sarawak Farmers Organisation PPNS building in Kota Semarahan on Wednesday. Rundi stated that this sector is evolving with new technological advancements that are expected to generate multiple resources of income within a short period. Therefore, he urged young farmers to take advantage of the opportunities available and explore agricultural modernization with new approaches.
Perbadanan Usahawan Nasional Berhad (PUNB) seeks to collaborate with the Sarawak government to provide financial support and funding for Bumiputera entrepreneurs in the region. According to its chairman, Tan Sri Akril Sani Abdullah Sani, this initiative aligns with the recommendations of Sarawak Premier Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg to leverage the region's current economic growth.
Premier pun memaklumkan kepada kami bahawa banyak sekarang ni sektor, contohnya beliau memaklumkan tadi sektor tenaga, tourism dan juga beberapa sektor lain yang akan mendapat limpahan daripada aktiviti-aktiviti ekonomi yang semakin rancak di negeri Sarawak ini. Dan tentu sekali kami tidak akan melepaskan peluang ini untuk bersama-sama bantu usahawan Bumiputera di negeri Sarawak ini. Ya.
He stated this to the media after leading the PUNB delegation on a courtesy call to Abang Johari at Wisma Bapa, Malaysia on Wednesday. Also present was Sarawak's Deputy Minister for International Trade, Industry and Investment, Datuk Dr. Malcolm Musem Lamo, PUNB Chief Executive Officer Izwan Zainuddin and PUNB Business Division General Manager Muhammad Nur Shazali Muhammad Idris. In this regard, PUNB sees the importance of increasing funding to expand the business networks of Bumiputra entrepreneurs in the region. Since its establishment in 2014, the corporation has successfully assisted over 300 entrepreneurs with a total funding of 111 million ringgit.
After years of renovation, the historic 135-year-old Sarawak Museum is set to reopen its doors to visitors this year, once the process of reorganization of its exhibition collections is completed. Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts Sarawak, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, announced this following the completion of the museum's building restoration, adding that the focus is now on curating the exhibition displays.
I'm also, well, I hope that it can be open this year because the building was renovated because there was a leak on the roof last time. So the renovation is already completed. So bringing back the artifacts that has been placed all over Kuching, we've been putting them in storage. But then now we are bringing them back, and then to bring them back, it's not just like the way we showcase things at home.
He told this to the media after officiating the launch of the 7th International Conference of Applied and Creative Arts ICACA 2024 at the Borneo Cultures Museum on Wednesday. The museum was closed to the public on October 23, 2017 for restoration work costing 38 million ringgit at the time. However, after the building's upgrade was completed a few years back, a roof leak caused by strong winds delayed its reopening. The historical museum building, which began construction in 1889, was officially opened to the public by Raja Charles Brooke on August 4, 1891. Located across the Borneo Cultures Museum, it was Borneo's first museum.
The recognition of the Rural Water Supply Department JBOP as a technical department by the federal government under the Malaysia Agreement 1963 is set to streamline water infrastructure projects in Sarawak. Deputy Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications, Dr. Abdul Rahman Junaidi, stated that Sarawak can now undertake essential water projects, including elevated water tanks, booster pumps and treatment plants, without needing federal's approval. He explained that previously, some projects were left on hold for long periods as it needed the green light from Putrajaya.
Kadang-kadang proses menunggu mereka meluluskan drawing, design, makan masa agak lama. Prosesnya. Jadi pegawai kita terpaksa pergi Kuala Lumpur berulang-ulang kali. Seandainya kita mulakan perancangan kita bulan Januari sampai ke penghujung bulan Oktober pun belum siap. Jadi kadang-kadang tertunggak banyak projek ini kerana akibat daripada birokrasi keperluan.
He said when met by TVS at his office in Kuching recently. Meanwhile, a recent national audit report revealed that 12 water supply projects in Sarawak have been delayed despite being approved in 2016, 2017 and 2018. He disclosed that all these delayed water supply projects fall under the Ministry of Rural and Regional Development KKDW. He stressed that if water infrastructure projects are handed over to Sarawak's implementation agencies, development plans could proceed immediately.
Maknanya kerajaan persatuan hanya menyediakan dana kepada kerajaan negeri untuk laksanakan projek bekalan air, contoh bekalan air oleh Jabatan Bekalan Air Luar Bandar. Semua pengurusannya daripada pelantikan kontraktor, membuat perancangan, layout, design sebagainya serta melantik kontraktor-kontraktor. Itu ditugaskan oleh pihak satu mata. Maknanya bila dah ready, mana pihak JBAP bolehlah melaksanakan projek-projek di bawah 50 juta.
The initiative to enhance bilingual proficiency in English and Malay among students aligns with the government's vision of transforming Sarawak into a developed region by 2030. According to Deputy Minister for Urban Planning, Land Administration and Environment, Dato' Len Talif Saleh, this effort is also in tandem with the rapid advancement of digital technology. Len Talif regards the crucial role these languages play as key communication tools in the modern world.
Buku sains, teknologi dan English dan matematik dan sains, teknologi, engineering dan matematik di dalam bahasa ibunda mereka. Dialah pembacaannya. Pada peringkat ini juga kita masih kekurangan dalam bahasa Melayu, buku-buku yang berkisar di dalam keempat aspek ini, iaitu sains, teknologi, engineering dan matematik. Dia ada tapi masih berkurangan. Oleh sebab itulah kerajaan memberi penekanan kepada bahasa Inggeris untuk kita dapat menikmati ataupun memahami unsur-unsur di dalam STEM.
He said this at the opening ceremony of the Serikei District School STEM Carnival at SK Mandor Aris and SK Jawa, held at the Selalang Community Hall on Wednesday. According to Len Talif, employers now require workers who can communicate in more than one language, especially in high-skilled fields. He also mentioned that good language proficiency not only provides access to different cultures, but also enhances cognitive functions and makes it easier to adapt to new situations. The program, organized by Sabati in collaboration with the State Education Department, exposes students to STEM education and piques their interests in the field.
Welcome back. Now, 2 local men have been arrested by the police to assist in the investigation of the fatal shooting incident that killed a soldier in Song on Monday. Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Mancha Atta said both 32-year-old suspects were arrested to determine their involvement in the incident.
Kedua-dua suspek tersebut didapati menjalani aktiviti memburu secara haram. Dan salah seorang telah melepaskan tembakan ke arah mangsa yang disangka binatang liar. Permohonan tahanan reman akan dibuat ke atas kedua-dua suspek di mahkamah pada hari ini. Dan kes diklasifikasikan sebagai kes bunuh di bawah Seksyen 302 Kanun Keseksaan.
Police also seized a shotgun believed to be the weapon used in the incident along with ammunition. Initial investigation revealed that the firearm used during the incident was licensed under the name of one suspect's father. However, the suspect who used the firearm for hunting and did not possess any license to use it. According to Mancha, an autopsy of the victim confirmed that the cause of death was due to gunshot wounds to the left rear side of the torso, which also involved several vital organs. He further explained that prior to the incident, local residents were informed about military training conducted in the area.
Malaysia is taking bold steps to establish itself as a global leader in carbon capture, utilization and storage (CCUS) by introducing a regulatory framework in Parliament by November. Economy Minister Rafizi Ramli said the comprehensive framework aims to position the country as a regional and global CCUS hub.
Rafizi said Malaysia is at a sweet spot and that the time has come for the country to leapfrog and position itself as a CCUS leader due to its experience and advantage. He highlighted Malaysia's strategic advantage, with Asia projected to account for 50% of global CCUS demand by 2050. Rafizi also mentioned that Malaysia has been signing memorandums of understanding (MOUs) with several countries to build momentum for the direction, which is expected to create over 200,000 jobs and contribute $250 billion in value over the next 30 years. CCUS is part of Malaysia's broader national energy transition roadmap, which seeks 1.3 trillion ringgit in financing by 2050 to achieve renewable energy goals.
Children rescued from the care of GISB Holdings Sendirian Berhad (GISBH) are believed to be facing mental health issues, believed to be due to the trauma they experience. Deputy Health Minister Dato' Lukanisman Awang Sauni said the ministry has identified several of the victims who require mental health support and will provide the necessary treatment for the affected children.
Bagi maklumat tersebut secara detail kerana kita sekarang masih lagi di dalam operasi menyelamat kanak-kanak tersebut di seluruh negara. Itu memang diakui ada di kalangan kanak-kanak tersebut memerlukan mental health support. Kerana satu, mereka dipisahkan dari keluarga, ada yang juga tidak tahu keadaan sebenar diri mereka. So this is a process yang kita serahkan kepada semua pakar-pakar yang kita hantar di pulau-pulau.
He told this to reporters when asked to comment on the current health status of the rescued GISBH children. Previously, a team of 13 psychologists from the National Mental Health Excellence Centre in Kuala Lumpur Hospital has been allocated by the MOH to provide care for the children rescued during the OP Global. The Magistrates' Court on Wednesday rejected the bail application for 22 women associated with the GISBH movement. The decision was made by Magistrate Muhammad Shafiq Sulaiman concerning the application filed under Section 118 of the Criminal Procedure Code. Previously, all 22 women arrived at the court for the bail application after being remanded since last week. They were detained during various police raids conducted as part of Operation Global. According to information received, a total of 83 followers of the movement were brought to the same court for a remand extension application, including the chairman and chief executive officer of GISBH, Dato' Nasiruddin Muhammad Ali. Earlier, Nasiruddin, along with his wife and 19 other individuals, were remanded for 7 days to assist in investigations related to exploitation, including child trafficking. In Para Sukma Day 4 update, the host team, SARAWAK, still tops the medal tally with 56 gold, 36 silver and 47 bronze, contributing to a cumulative of 139 medals. Sabah comes closely behind in second place with 44 gold, 24 silver and 20 bronze. Still in third place, Selangor with 20 gold, 30 silver and 26 bronze. Catch all the latest 21st Para Sukma updates only on TVS. In a rare and controversial move, China on Wednesday test-launched an intercontinental ballistic missile, firing it in the direction of the Pacific Ocean. This marks the country's first such test in decades and has sparked concern across the region.
Beijing has said that the missile launch was in line with international law and international practice and is not directed against any country or target.
成功发射一发携载训练模拟弹头的洲际弹道导弹，准确落入预定海域。此次导弹发射是年度军事训练例行性安排，符合国际法和国际惯例，不针对任何特定国家。
Japan, one of China's closest neighbors, expressed serious concern over Beijing's growing military capabilities, saying that it was not given advance notice of the launch. The concern comes as China continues to ramp up its defense spending and nuclear development. According to a Pentagon report, China could have over 1,000 nuclear warheads by 2030.
Yeah, it's extremely rare. But China is undergoing a pretty substantial expansion of its nuclear arsenal, including intercontinental ballistic missiles, that is, missiles with the range to hit basically anywhere in the world, but in particular the United States. And so it is perhaps not surprising to see that China needs to test that capability to make sure that it's reliable.
Beijing first test-fired an ICBM into the South Pacific in the 1980s. While China called the missile launch part of its routine annual training, Japan and New Zealand have both condemned the move. China now holds the world's third-largest nuclear stockpile, behind only Russia and the United States. With defense spending continuing to rise, China's military modernization drive under President Xi Jinping has heightened concerns about the country's global ambitions.
Finland will return 2 giant pandas on loan from China more than 8 years ahead of schedule because of financial problems at the zoo where they are housed. The giant pandas, named Jin Bao Bao, Lumi or Snow in Finnish, and Hua Bao, Puri or Blizzard, which arrived in Finland in 2018, will be returned by the end of this year.
Pandas were to be returned after 15 years, but our economic situation does not allow us to keep the pandas anymore, Ottari Zoo's board chairman Risto Sivanon said. An agreement to loan the animals to Finland was sealed during a visit by Chinese President Xi Jinping in 2017.
Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.